my homie to calm down. But disorientated in his mind, I'm telling my homie, put the pistol down. Just know I love you. Just know I love you. Just know I love you. Woo! I don't have that one memorized, y'all. Oh, I got memorized, and I like to do this, y'all. And to anybody that know me, I nobody don't know my occupation. I work in the health field, you know. Yeah, and I always do this poem, man, because like this is Duval County, so I'm gonna get straight into it. And it go like this. Baby girl, I want to chill with you. I want you to take a seat by my side and I want to feel with you. I'm willing to take that chance. Come on, let's grow love and live. But before we take it to that stage, let's make sure we both HIV negative. Because I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to protect my queen how I protect myself. And what's all the money in the world if you ain't got good health? See, many dudes scared to talk about this. So they just ignore these facts. Well, you can call me a criminal for love, and I'm going to let my poetry attack. This ain't no game that I'm running, because I'm chasing you. Baby, we both can go to the clinic, now I'm facing you. You said you want somebody real, right? Well, tell me, how real is that? We can make this a date with each other. Is you feeling that? Promiscuous in your younger days, and some women been molested. You've been through hell already, baby, so don't be scared to go get tested. And if he love you how we say, then he got his papers on deck. And if he never brought up the topic of STDs and the way he's giving you disrespect, I say sex and all the love making. It's a beautiful blessing. I enjoy every experience when I give my lesson. But know your partner's STD status. Don't hold back no questions. Because we all human, y'all. And everybody wants somebody. F his job, baby, and his money, baby. Protect your body. Don't neglect your body. You just learn how to select them bodies. And I say his swagger was on point momentarily from his head to shoes. But you asked him, was the needle all still when he got them hood tattoos? See, we only 13.1% of the U.S. population. And 44% of the HIV cases are all black faces. And guess what? Black women are number one, so in a way our kind is being wasted. And then you got these men sleeping with men. And then this man, he switched up and he sleep with a lady. Then he injects it inside of her. See, these type of guys are injecting our babies. And I'm just a passionate type of guy. And I'm sorry, my words might seem like hate. But if you don't love them the way I love them, then you can't relate. No need to clap. But baby girl, just get the condom and wrap. Because for the topic of HIV, I ain't deading it. Because it's some down low weak brothers out here spreading it. And it could have been easily prevented if you just address the matter. I say weak men to get quiet and walk away and scatter. And we can take these steps together, baby. You and me. Because I'm the type that's sex hard, but I want my conscience free. And just give me your hand right now. And let me know if you need some help. Because before you start loving me, I want you to love yourself. So before I end this conversation with no standing ovation, I hope my pure pressure words will see some participation, baby girl. Let me know what you really want to do. I say life is like chess, so if you want for my test, then I'm all for you. Know your status.
Everybody give it up for Leo. I like that. Real educational. Not too many people talk about that. I really applaud you for that. Thank you. So, the next person that we have coming to the stage is a lovely, talented artist. Hey, Mariano, how you doing? Good. This is Mariano, the custom tailor. He makes suits. Holla at your boy. But the next person, I need everybody to make some noise for Miss Lyric.
Move down. Oh, move people to the bottom. Everybody point!
Oh yeah, that's me. Alright. My words, my power.
So let them create!
Good job.
You. Harlem. Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll do two pieces. Alright. You get more than what you bargained for on New York City subways. I wait for the 3 train. Headed back to Harlem every Saturday night. 2 guys into 1 train car, 1 destination, 1 loud conversation. If she got natural hair, she gotta be real cute. Like Aaliyah's face, Nicki's body, delicious is, I just listen. to two motor mouths, headed in the wrong direction, somewhere between reminding the girl with natural hair that her beauty, if it exists, is the exception to the rule, and telling the dark-skinned diva that she's our reminder of origination. See, she resembles the first civilization and the first woman in this world to be deemed beautiful. But now, it's a little hard to see history through her eyes when the beauty we stream in is all Americanized, and who's going to be the one to tell her? Now, compared to the other ingredients in the melting pot, you no longer stand out the way you used to. Your features no longer combine to equal beauty, because standing in a sea of breathless words is beauty in the flesh. Take notes. How many of her great-grandmothers were victims of miscegenation, generation down, and her melanin decreases a few shades, next victim? Her hair spirals out of control, curls wrapped around insecurities, rephrase questions, all confirming the same idea that she's not black enough. Because being black is something we try to avoid at all costs, like how we go about describing her to others as a raceless being because we're all colorblind and no one can really tell, right? It's like imitation of life where we see her how she wants to be seen, full cycle of her wanting to be seen as beautiful, defined by no one she even knows, but she'll still endorse the concept, next victim. Light-skinned, curly hair, we trace her nose to Nigeria, those lips to Sierra Leone, the curvature of her body outlines bones, trailing the Atlantic Ocean, and she's gorgeous. Her smile, no matter how fractured by societal expectations, is beautiful. Her image, outcast shadows of her sisters at the other end of the spectrum, their curls, so tight they form collages in the shape of emptiness, comparing themselves to historical tragedies we silently applaud by making Dorothy Dandridge and Nia Long our standards of black beauty. And as wonderful as they are, why are there exceptions to the rule, like how Gabrielle Union's pretty for a dark-skinned girl, and Michelle Obama's a diva by association, where the line between the two blurs our imagination to think this is the standard, compliments of the former as the latter holds on to her roots, self-declared aesthetically pleasing features, rippled hair thick enough to capture words, and history teachers from her past remind her that the coexistence of this America and this beauty is a figment of her imagination. If she only gets compliments when Indian Remy weave is sewn into the final traces of her blackness, she can cut it all off and remind you that she's still the same person without it. More kinky, less impressionable, and if she happens to be staring two guys dead in the face on the 3 train, headed back to Harlem on a Saturday night, she can tell them the truth. That her beauty is on its way back from Ghana, and maybe one day they'll have the fortune of seeing it too. So he said no curse words, no sexually explicit content, so I was down to like 5% of my poetry. So here's the last one.
The challenge.
The challenge, right? It was real. The struggle is real. Okay. America's Amnesia. January 20th, 1990. America, that's my birthday. So in every other January we'd have no school on Mondays. You convinced me the celebration was mine. I didn't know who this Martin Luther King Jr. guy was trying to steal my shine. I couldn't tell which one of us. You forgot first. September 25th, 2007. The day I stopped calling my ancestors slaves, a term implying submission, so compliance of their state, but to be enslaved. Forced into a system, resisting at all costs when being thrown onto ships and separated from their actual brothers and sisters instead of hypothetical ones we tried to reclaim. In 2011, let us forget that Michelle Bachmann claimed that institution was preferable to the current state of my people. The same year, you let us forget that James Craig Anderson was murdered by 5 white teenagers who suddenly made their mission killing a black man tonight. You let them free. Silently applauding this American tragedy, but I'm the only one who still talks about it. At times, I think I'm the only one who still cares. I tell people I'm proud to be American because I remember what you forgot. See, I remember that it's still illegal to be black in some parts of Mississippi, a state I grew up singing songs to. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback, I will never be the same again, and we cannot go on like this. I tell people I'm proud to be American because I remember what you forgot. See, I remember that my ancestors have been occupying Wall Street much longer than any movement. Literally. Their bodies are occupying Wall Street. They are buried under Wall Street, and they were thrown into the ground like sacrificed soldiers in trenches. America. So you remember that we were soldiers too. Spike Lee and I may be the only two who remember the battle at St. Anna just to carry your name. My ancestors have fought for you, America, just to carry your name. But this marriage was no healthy one. And I was harshly reminded as you strung black soldiers from trees in their uniforms. We are American history, yet have managed to steal an entire paragraph in your textbooks. Texas manufactured textbooks while your amnesia manifests and allows history teachers to leave my story out of textbooks. Texas says let's move forward as a nation because it's easier that way, but it's always easier for the oppressor to convince the oppressed that things are easier one way. I'm not convinced. I am not convinced because America looks like indigenous populations and enslaved Africans swaying in the wind to get your attention, to help you remember what it's clear you've forgotten, that we, too, are America. Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Lyric one more time, y'all. She did that. She did that.
Ain't hold
Y'all
like
learned something.
nothing.
How many of y'all learned something just now?
Ain't, don't
I
even
love
front.
it. I love it. That's what it's about, man.
Okay, don't front.
You know what I mean? Did. Hold on a second.
This. I don't understand why I touched the button.
Forget it. It's just gonna stay like that. Alright, next up to the mic, I want y'all to say next poet.
Next poet.
So when I want y'all to be quiet, y'all loud. You heard how I said that. I said, next poet. 2 people got it. I want y'all to say, next poet. Oh, I like it. It's about to get real. I want you guys to put your hands together for the one, the only. Wow!
I have to like 7 feet tall.
My words are my power.
So let them create.
No doubt. Pieces. My skin is as dark as the night sky, so I suck.
Tiger.
My skin is as dark as the night sky, so I search for what makes me human. I demoralize my structure. I puncture my state of mind. I've been hung one too many times. Just I'm dying to know the truth. I've been watching this pendulum sweep back and forth. It's like watching the switch space lights through my life. I've been trying to find reason to die and nobody's trying to stop me yet. So I guess it doesn't matter anyways. It's all just a phase. They say that my skin complexion have no control over the direction of my life, but it seems to have majority shares and remote control. But you see, I don't watch TV. Why? Because all that I see is me being abused by the media. If it ain't me, it's my peers. Be careful. Demonic souls, people in your covers at night. And there's no discrimination or destruction of mind, but this life is different. This skin is a gateway to pain. I've tried to infiltrate my dreams, and it seems that I'm trapped inside a nightmare. I don't even think a key exists. My escape has been defined. You know what it's like to be a slave to your mind. I wish I could emancipate my thoughts, free my contemplation, and lay awake on liberated Sweeper Island. Yes, I said I wish I could emancipate my thoughts, free my contemplation, and lay awake on liberated Sweeper Island. But I guess that might be asking for too much. But what makes you different than me? I wish that we as a people had peepholes in each other's souls. Maybe then we can know one another, truly love one another, but this glove that covers my soul has far too much superiority. My history has told me not only 3 fists of a human being and 2 fists of a beast, and I still pray for my enemy. But not for them, for me. For these chains hanging from my bloody wrist and this hope that I've stored inside my freezer. And they say that life is cold, well, so is my soul. So give me a better shot. It couldn't get much worse than this. It's always been real. I've always been separated from society. Separated from anyone whose skin complexion is not pursuing my own to make it punch. We have disowned with another. We have given human characteristics of skin color. But this blood that covers my soul has nothing to do with my psychological makeup. It's all just made up of figment of indignant imagination as shallow as a puddle unless it calls itself an ocean. So let me set my plans in motion. America, land of the melting pots, bringing all together through a gathering of declarations. Let's declare our freedom as a people. But some things just weren't meant to mix. Oil and water probably found ways to mingle before we do. So let freedom ring. And they say it's not over until the fat lady sings, but it seems she's been warming up her throat for some time now. Sometimes I feel like my words pass over avoid wasteland and selfish shit. Just I wish I could build a palace of change, but some things just won't make reality. We struggle building bridges within ourselves, much less somebody with different skin pigmentation. You see, I clash with the sky sometimes when we cover secrets. And as a man, I'll share no chance and stormy like you never understand, John. I said, I clash with the sky sometimes when we cover secrets. And as a man, I'll share no chance and stormy like you never understand. I walk over dead roads, living with demonic souls trapped in the soil, looking back with the ground. I walk over demonic souls trapped in soil, wrapped in aluminum foil, and nigga been blood that is dead to me. I've never regretted insanity. I never requested that you understand me, but you will respect the ground I walk on. As I check, we both face to face it. The words I speak can split the entire universe in two. You still don't listen to me. Or maybe I'm missing something. A deep piece possibly. I doubt it though. A sacrilegious plan of inadequacy can never equate or carry no weight. The blasphemous ideology that comes from judging me for my skin appearance. And yet you claim that my skin is insufficient, that my complexion falls short of the norm, and I'm after my mother while she birthed me. I did it easy from the product of inadequate manifestation. My hair stuck facing years of a reality I will never have control over. I'll pray for my children. I'll pray for my grandkids. I'll pray for the unfortunate lineage that my bloodline will forever carry. But most of all, I'll pray that humanity will eventually be able to see past the color of my skin and bring in judgment for the man that I truly am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Get some water. Hold on, I got you. I'll be hosting that. Hold on.
Fight through it. The revolution will be televised, but be advised that it comes with an expiration date. Because our faith is as finite as our lives are numbered. Our hymns don't come from Him, from God. They come from an end, from years of bitter animosity, tears tattooed to our skin. Thank you. For as long as eternity, breathes like into forever. For whatever reason, the sky remains dark, the clouds remain placid, yet terrifying all the same, and our voices carry a shiver that can make Lucifer shed a tear. We are dying to our own thoughts, dying to our own contemplation, trapped in a box laced with tyranny, with blood pouring from every corner, and now we are covered in an even coating of death. And so, we burn out tomorrow because yesterday we got to tell today that it was your turn to shine.
All right, sip on it. Let it breathe. Go ahead.
Well, maybe I'm a fool. Trapped in between the scenes of the unseen, because the scenes that fall in between my eyes have seen does not mean that what I've seen what we've seen before. Y'all hear me though? I said, maybe I'm a fool. Trapped in between the scenes of the unseen, because the scenes that fall in between what my eyes have seen does not mean that what I've seen what we've seen before. Stories told from the graves about slaves and slave ships and whips and stuff like that. Guns and bats and violence, the loud and silent, the young divided, the old and wise, the ones that live and the ones that die, and few fall in between. The howls and like the skins and the panther. No man graves no fool. And the fools that my man raised, the prayers that have sent out at night because of never leaving God in the first place. But the Holy Spirit shall anoint you, my child, the wicked, the wild, the child of prophecy, the body of scripture, the calligraphy of life, and the story that nobody wants to hear about. Let's go back to before we were black, before we were slaves, before we were kings and queens, before we looked over kingdoms that were constructed with gold plates, before destiny, before fate, before existence ever existed, before forever was given us name with nothing. We're nothing but individuals, some things, but some things were meant to be some things, just some things to get a universal reason dispersed to a network of populations. Now the stories are easily forgotten because the future spends little time focused on its history and it has a tendency to forget about its present, as we have a tendency to forget that today is a gift of present. But some of us don't celebrate Christmas, and those that do don't usually do it for the right reasons. I mean, we wrap ourselves in chains and shackles to prepare for battle and wonder why we are losing. We are choosing for a turn to the wind with. We were never soldiers to begin with, but someone that allowed this sound of mind to take another person's fight is the best way to get your point across. So if you ask me, we've already lost. We've already amplified our bitterness, evidence, and indignant glitters. We've already committed suicide when we go outside and make our actions as survival. Our private tendencies always seem to be apparent, don't they? One in a child, we travel online canvas, we call it feelings. We take the lives that God so cleverly constructed, put online and call it courage. We are spurring everything we never had in the first place, as if our instinct is to instinctively choose a path that will lead to our extinction. We're gonna distinguish the difference from what we should do and shouldn't do, so we do nothing. It's not about being black or white or Chinese or Mexican or Asian. It's not even about being human. It's about living. It's about understanding that we all have the same beginnings and endings. It's about understanding that our past is not a present, but we use it as a lesson definition until today becomes what matters. We'll travel down the same path that our history took. But that leaves you satisfied. Well, then I have nothing left to say.
Hold on 1 second. What was his name again?
Josh. His name was Ralph.
Hold on 1 second.
Thanks.
Y'all give it up for Ralph one more time, y'all. Alright, so before we go on to the next performance, actually, I want to do something. We're going to take a short break so that people actually have the time to not miss anything. Use the restroom, get something to eat, get some adult beverage. Just don't adult beverage too hard because I'm not taking you home, I promise. You will walk. No, so we might take a short break. Is short break okay with you?
Yeah,
We can take that?
Yeah, I'm fine
We
with
can do
that. I want to Jeff Square on my break.
Oh, okay, alright. So take a short break. We'll be right back, man. And between then, I want you guys to actually clap for your DJ. Please give it up for DJ Israel! We're not ready to faces. Why am I clapping this? Alright, DJ, like that. Alright, DJ, do what you do.
What's your name?
I didn't think about that first.
Spell it.
A-M-A-L. I'm gonna take the gold one first. J-A-M-E-L.
What's last name?
Jamel Witter. J-A-M-E-L-W-I-T-A-A. That's it.
Yeah. That was Mariano. So go ahead. Your name is on the list. I can't take it off. Yes, you can. It don't work like that. It don't leave. Oh my God. He gonna make you look really bad on the camera. All on the internet. If you sing, I'll do poetry. If you do it, I'll do it. But I'm right about it. I don't. I'm not prepared. I gotta recall. You on a date? No. Nothing. Hey girl, hey, I see you on the camera. What's going on? Nothing. You sure? I'm fine with it. I mean, just like surprise that person and be like, I have other talents. I did not know I thought this was like I don't like you right now. You're not my favorite person. Sorry, beloved. You owe me. Big. And I'm gonna make sure that I stay way in the back. So if he decides he wanna do this Mariano thing, I don't end up the one he went. So I'm in the mood. So now you can I need to move. Yeah, he don't know you like that. So you good. Somebody he knows him like. Thanks for the hands up. You know you. I'll make sure we never get that close. So where is that individual that you came with? Here in the back, guys. With the purple on? Okay, with the red dude? You know I don't do like this. You don't eat red meat. Oh, good. No, I'm not trying to eat those. I wasn't just trying to look. I just had to real just for all. I had to just myself off the nose. I haven't seen it. I'll take it in a while. Everything I take it in a while.
It's my first time out in a long time.
I do. Get it out. Hey. I don't even know we rhymed out for half a second. Get something that's gonna make you move. Hey, that song online. I need a microphone, please. But she gonna act like she ain't gonna sing tonight.
To bless you. You guys have to look around the ladies. I know you got If you're a wine drinker, sweet red is the way to go. I love it. It's so good. That's sweet red. It's good, isn't it?
You got comedy all over it in, and you said don't nobody get no good. So he was relaxed.
Okay.
And then you said Jamel is next. Jamel?
Oh, no. Okay, I have to, okay, future plans. They were record me real fast, so I'm going to put up my education, Uncle, whatever his name is, Kenny, I think it is.
Uncle Kenny.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we do about you. I'm not licensed. I'm gone.
I was about to say, don't say that line. Can you go confirm his name, please? Can you go confirm Uncle Kenny's name? I don't want to put Uncle Kenny, but that's not his name.
No. It's actually really nice. I'm gonna read it. Get it.
How you stay excited? Hey.
Three minutes. Okay. Got that confused exit.
I'm just saying because he dropped his song right now. Don't be taking pictures. I have to fix my hair. I need to turn this light off because it's just like really hot over here.
I crept the Bahana. Mommy threw it like a quarterback. I caught that like a Montana. Tired of hands up, this is gangster. I'm a rap CD, we gangster. I said all these school right on the blue. For the class of mommy got mommy in the mood. Then she stripped with me like a moon. I think I might wipe her. You know we had to look like a wear suit white night. Add mommy to the cipher. ROC for like cause the gang mother.
Yeah. Drew. Let's take a picture with Drew. You get the picture too.
Wait a minute, I gotta fix my hair. Wait a minute. There we go.
Oh, perfect.
I need to see my face. We might have to do that again.
Oh, look at you.
Look, they got on makeup. We gotta let it in. I ain't got no makeup on my face.
I was looking at you. I was looking like this. It's better over another road. Huh?
Alright, so I'm calling my co-host up here. I want my co-host to like introduce me. I've like never been introduced at my own show, so I want to see what it sounds like when I get introduced at my own show. So she over here holding the full conversation, so she don't even know I'm talking about her, but she gonna hard to pay. But we gonna keep talking until she realizes, bro, look at this. So I want you to introduce me. I've never been introduced at my own show, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go sit down and I'm gonna be extra surprised like I didn't know you was calling.
All right, we got this. We got this.
Go ahead. I'm going to go over here and pretend like I'm sipping my wine and talking to my sister. So,
All right,
yeah, this show is awesome.
The next artist I have
person who
coming
put
up.
this on.
Everybody say next artist.
Right on the head though. Do you see that?
He is milk chocolate. He wears glasses and he has a t-shirt on. Are you ready to give it over your house? Are you tired? No. Oh yeah.
My words are my power!
So let them create.
That felt good, right? Get introduced and stuff. I felt like I was like actually a part of the show because I always have to introduce myself. I get up here, hey, my name is Ant, and I'm gonna do a poem, and I'm the host, and you're gonna like it. So yeah, we got a request earlier. You requested what exactly?
I
I can't do that because he's recording.
And a guy don't play card games.
Oh, God doesn't play card games.
But you said you don't want to do that one.
But I said I didn't do it at the beginning of the show. So, all right, God doesn't play card games. What's the other one?
Pay.
Pay.
All
All those in favor of God doesn't play card games, hands in the air. All those in favor of pay, hands in the air.
Everybody's hands should be raised.
Looks like God doesn't play card games as well. All right.
You took that one up.
Huh?
You talked that one up.
You
I
really
didn't talk it
did.
up.
Yes, you did. You was like, I close my eyes and I go back there. Okay.
I close my eyes and I go bite.
So,
All right. Alright, so Too many times.
It's about to get real.
Too many times, we look at the children's eyes. We label them as bad. We label them as a horrible child. We label them as so many different things, and we don't look into their lives and see what they're going through. That they, you know, you never know. A child may be misbehaving in school because at home he's getting the beat out of him. You know what I'm saying? A child may be misbehaving in school and not paying attention because you never know. He's going home. He never has an opportunity to be a child. So we need to look closely at our children. And this poem is called "God Doesn't Play Card Games." Y'all say that?
God doesn't play card games.
On the road, man. He's a real choir, for real. Her little innocent eyes could never well up enough tears to cure the sick heart of her father. See, he treated her more like a miniature lover than daughter. See, he taught her weird statements in an attempt to rationalize to her adolescent mind and him fondling the body that he gave life and those repulsive ways are just fine. He said things like, it's perfectly normal because on the animal planet, you know, lions that come speak with the tongue. Or this makes you and I close as he pleasures himself and forces his little daughter to watch it till he's done. Or don't tell anyone the special things that you and daddy do because they never understand our type of fun. See, a mixture between his brainwashing and her desire for his daddy's little girl approval always kept her from ever saying a beat. But the pain in the deep and vast parts of her eyes told stories and her mouth could never form words to speak. See, the type of memories that haunted the realm with rapid eye movement and nocturnal sleep. When she wasn't being plagued by little monsters during her slumber, the voices in her head would persuade her to harm herself habitually. I mean, she would literally take a sharpened edge and run it almost artistically like the bow of a violin across her forearm until she bled. He had her so messed up in the head that the little stripes were red, the place where she held all her pain, in the whites of her eyes. And the blue bruises she wore like physical memoirs where daddy had been too rough on her little frame, made her grow to despise not only her name, but the sight of the American flag exactly the same. See, for her, there was no land of the free. And life wasn't turning out like any American dream by how her adolescent fantasies had imagined it to be. And after every time daddy tore away with little chances she had in an ordinary existence, she would pull herself up to the edge of the bed that had way too many degrading memories, and she would shout out on her knees. She would say that sometimes I just really wish that I could get my hands on God. Just to hold him face to face and ask him, why do I have to live a life that's so hard? And then they say that God has never dealt me one of the proper cards to get a redeal, a reshuffle, or perhaps just another card. He shouts out, as if someone were trying to rip his soul from his earthly vessel. And though they take much enjoyment out of this, to him, family moments like this felt anything but special. See, a brown extension cord held tightly in hand, lands on epidermis, wraps around his frame, and leave marks that show evidence of bruised muscles. See, they always tag teamed him. One clenching his neck so his face of the carpet burns, and the other swung so hard he sweated every blow of that cord was one step closer to him being cut in half, and to add insult to blatant injury, his carpet muffled whimpers made them laugh. See, the number of raised welt lines was dwarfed by the number of times they carried on with this abusive marathon upon the legs, backs, and arms that belonged to a child whose young mind was too young to just really comprehend abuse. And their excuse for leaving tattered and bloody the body their unprotected fornication and given existence was their way to teach him to listen. They taught him that each beating was a lesson into life. Told him there was no such thing as fair, and that no one would ever treat him right, always telling him he was stupid, and we would always be at a disadvantage, and unless he became strong and learned to fight back, there was no way he could ever possibly manage and even halfway attempt to live normally. And for a child that had been made to believe that he was stupid and that the very destruction of his body makes him better, how can he fathom what normal would be? So after every time his parents yelling and screaming ceased to intoxicated slumber, he would fall to his knees in the room that had way too many degrading memories, and he would shout out to God. He would say that sometimes I just really wish that I can get my hands on God. Just to hold him face to face and ask him, why do I have to live a life that is so hard? And though they say that God has never dealt me one of them proper cards to get a redeal, a reshuffle, perhaps just another draw. See, this is for us. Sometimes it's our responsibility to answer those prayers that haven't quite made it to heaven yet. See, no child should suffer a loss because their parents aren't playing with the full deck. So unless we want the innocence in children's demise, unless we help out, that's really all we should expect. So when you see something and you say nothing, that means you don't expect change. Or when you see it but you overlook it, that means to you that abuse is not strange. And this ain't one of them situations you can, help out by sparing just a little loose change. No, this isn't that. So the next time you look into a child's eyes and you see that pain, or that hurt, or that neglect, imagine them at home, alone, slowly pulling themselves off the ground to one knee, and slowly and painfully pulling themselves up to both feet. But with the frailness and weakness of the little bodies just reaching up as high as they can reach and screaming out to God, and just some days, I just really wish that I can get my hands on God, just to hold him face to face and ask him, why do I have to live a life that is so hard? They say that God has never dealt me one of the proper cards. Can I please, or can we please give these children another chance, another shuffle, or perhaps just one more card? Thank you.
Yes, that don't put a lot out of me. That's my homie right here. That's my homie. Wait. And we actually got a special. Hold on, sir. You ready? You ready? Are you ready? So I want to read you something. It's very few times in life when people thank you for what you do. I'm gonna read this to you. This was given to me today, and I think your spoken word program is very positive. I would like to ask you about being interested in joining us for a couple of community service programs. This man gave me a thank you letter.
Bless you.
He gave me a thank you letter, and he came to me and personally thanked me for making sure that I keep this event going. And whether you guys realize it or not, I come in here, I slide, I laugh, I giggle, I smile, no matter what's going on in my life. Just to make sure that you guys have a venue. It feels good sometimes to get that thanks, man. To get that, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because some Mondays I come in here so drained, but I still smile, I still perform, and I still make sure that you guys have the best show. He comes in here, regardless of whatever's going on in his life, comes in here, plays music for you. My producer is actually not here today, so I'm gonna sell out. But no matter what's going on in our lives, we make sure that we are here for y'all. That this event will keep going, that we will, that we are supporting you, because the reality is this is not about me, it's not about him, it's not about my producer, it's about y'all. Having somewhere to express yourself, having somewhere to sit on a Monday night after you worked all night long and enjoy yourself, you know what I'm saying? So I love you all, real talk, and I thank you all for just coming out and supporting. But this young man right here is about to ride out with a little bit of, a little special treat for y'all. So y'all give it up for Uncle Kenny!
You know what?
Oh, wait.
Whoa.
My words are my power.
So let them create.
My words are my power.
So let them create.
Okay, my word to everybody that's in this place tonight, I want to say thank you for a community. This is a real positive set. I mean, just to look out in here, I see Tony Rainbow and all of us are part of it.
Yes, I like it.
My words are
my power. So you guys say the whole thing. You guys say the whole thing.
My words are my power.
So let them create.
Yes.
Y'all got to help me with this one. We're gonna go home, okay?
I know the words.
You do it.
By the rivers of Babylon, where we sit down everywhere, yeah, we remember Zion. hung our hearts upon the willows and the mystery. Sing one redemption song. How can we sing our Father's song? How can we sing King Alpha's song? How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Bible say it like this, he say, oh, pirates, yes, they rob I. So that you emerge your ships.
Alright, up.
Maybe it's after they took out from the bottomless pits. From the bottomless pit. But my head was made strong by the hands of the Almighty. So we following this generation.